What's up guys, welcome back, Branded Dude. So here we are going up against Tenpai Fiendsmith, is it? Yeah, Tenpai Fiendsmith. If I got it wrong, that's kind of dumb, made myself look stupid. But anyways, we are playing 60 card Branded. So here you'll see we open Shiren, Lubellion, Branded Red, Regained, and Aluba. Yeah, it's okay hand. We will lose hard to Imperm if our opponent has it, but luckily he doesn't here. Opponent has Droplet, Thrust, the Pydra, Genroku, as well as Shark Cannon. So he's playing some Sky Striker cards, but also the Fiendsmith Engine. And yeah, Tenpai, this is a deck we're not really seeing most of the time, but yeah, I think you guys remember how scary this deck was. Maybe the trauma is already kicking in, but yes, we are going first here, so let's see how we do. So we normal summon a Luba here. Here I decide not to search for Brand Fusion. I decide, if we get hit with Ash on Brand Fusion, we end up on a weak board, right? But if we search High Spirits and that resolves, and then later Brand Fusion gets ashed, we will end up on a little bit more. Okay, so that's why I search for High Spirits. Lubellion here is going to search for the Serenia, and then we are obviously going to activate High Spirits. Well, Regain first before anything, then go High Spirits here. Send Serenia, Titan Clad, search for Albion. Yes, guys, you've seen this combo a million times. Serenia, dump Retribution. Shrouded will send the Brand of Fusion, and here we'll draw into Aluba. That will be there for this card. Retribution, add back Brand of Fusion. Then go Brand Fusion, send Albaz and Cartesia into Albion. Albion here, banish Albaz and the Serenia. Going to Lubellion. Lubellion discard the Aluba, so that Brandon Red has a target, and we will chain Regain, target the Serenia. Draw into Banishment, pretty good draw, okay. Fusion away into Mirror Jade. And then summon Lubellion. Lubellion here is going to place the Branded Lost. Set the Banishment. I decide to go to end phase. The reason why I don't set Brandon Red is because in case my opponent has Nibiru, okay, once that resolves, okay, then we go Brandon Red, Fusion Summon, get a Search of Lost. Just there in case our opponent had Nibiru there. Okay, but yeah, that stays in hand. And then with the Albion, we do set the Retribution. We then go Titan Clad here to summon Quem. Quem here is going to dump Albaz. I think, yeah, we need an Albaz name engraved. So we dump Albaz, and Cartesia will add itself to hand as discard reasons. Okay, opponent draws the turn. He draws into Thrust. Okay. Normal summon Pydra, and this is where I started to shit my pants. But anyways, Pydra here, search for the field spell, which gets set. Well, it gets set, yeah. Okay, on res, we go Mirror Jade, send Renbrim, so that Renbrim can summon Albaz. Okay, opponent does chain the Droplet here. Cool, luckily I did not summon Lad too early, In this situation, like if you're going game 1, don't summon Lad too early. Let your opponent use that Imperm or the Droplet if they have it first, before anything, okay? And then after that, you summon out Lad. Okay, anyways, Droplet, negate Mirror Jade. On res though, we are going to trigger Quem, where we're going to target Albaz. And then the reason why we target Albaz summon, discard the Cartesia, fuse away Pydra and the Albaz to go into Chaos Star Source, which will just pop this field spell. But yeah, opponent saw it was going. I think he maybe assumed I was playing Albelenitus, but yeah, whatever the case is, we're going to pop that field spell, and that thing will be gone forever. But yeah, we win game number 1, so we go to game number 2. We open Opening, Talons, Red, Banishments, and Gold Sock. Opponent opens Fiendsmith Tract, the Lurry, Nibiru, Harpies, and Talons. So we are going first here. Our opponent did make us go first. So, Gold Sock here. We'll banish the McCurry. I guess I should also mention that in this game, I think I did side to go second. Okay. But yeah, doesn't really matter. We'll see how we do here. So Mercury search for Albion. We then go Albion here to send the Albaz, so that Brandon Red has a target. Join to Forlos, okay. Then go Opening, discard Forlos, summon a Luba. Luba here, no Imperm, so yeah, cool. Search for Brandon Fusion. And then we are going to go Brandon Fusion, send Albaz, Lubellion into Albion. Albion here, banish Albaz and Aluba to go into Lubellion. Now with Lubellion, I discard Talents. Now the reason why I discarded Talents is because I assumed, okay, if he made me go first, he's most probably just sided in board breakers, right? I'm talking about Rageki, Lightning Storms, but I was not expecting a Nibiru. I definitely was not expecting a Nibiru, so yeah, me discarding that Talents is going to make me look like a fool. Going to Mirror Jade, summon Lubellion. Lubellion here is going to place Branded Lost. Set the Banishments in red. Go to end of main. Opponent does drop Nibiru, and I'm like, well, there goes the Talents. And yeah, sum the tokens on res. I decide not to trigger Mirror Jade. The reason why I don't trigger Mirror Jade is because I thought, like, okay, what if he has a Lightning Storm in hand? I need this Nibiru to stay on the field so he doesn't destroy back row, right? Hoping that he doesn't have Harpies in his hand. But end phase with Albion, I decide to add Retribution to hand. The reason why is because we need a discard just in case, something to discard. We have Branded Red, Branded Banishment, so yeah. Opponent draws for turn, he draws Pyja. That is insane. What a draw. But he started with Harpies, and that is where I decide to cry. So we chain Banishment, which chain Branded Red, banish Albaz and the token, going to Lebellion. Sorry, not Lebellion, Albion. Banishment, Reborn Mirror Jade, okay. Albion Effectual Trigger, so we banish the Albion and Lebellion. Going to Philia Regis. The reason why is because we can potentially banish the field spell. Opponent activates Talents to take, cool, activates the Tract, and then discards Lurry. Now here honestly, I was thinking, okay, if he's starting with the Fiendsmith, is he doing this because he wants to bait out the interruptions first, or is he doing this because he actually doesn't have Tenpai plays in his hand? So here, unfortunately, I had to take a gamble here. On Lurry, I decided to go Philia. Truth is, I should have actually used Philia when this card was engraved, so I didn't have to bounce a body into the extra deck. But he normal summons Pyja, and I'm like, yeah, that's game right there. He has 2 bodies on the field, and then also Tenpai monsters are coming. That's just game. We are not going to waste our time there. Then yeah, we go to game number 3. We open Dragon's Mind, opening Aluba, Kolbai, and Aluba. Opponent opens the Talents, the D barrier, double D barrier, Imperm, and Retaliating Sea. So no engine there whatsoever. Normal summon Aluba gets hit with Imperm. So yeah, this is where I realized I made a mistake. I should have went opening, discard Dragon's Mind, summon Quem. Quem effect, then if he goes Imperm, Aluba can resolve. So this was not the correct way to play this out here, so we got punished here. Summon, activate opening, send Aluba, summon Quem. Quem here will dump the Cartesia, set the Kolbai and Dragon's Mind, and we pass. So here, I will say I was begging for my life, right here. Opponent draws into Tract, which he activates first. Okay, discard the Lurry. Lurry will trigger to summon itself. We don't Kolbai this because we want Quem to trigger to reborn Cartesia. Okay, summon Requiem, which will trigger the Quem to summon Cartesia. Opponent then goes Requiem. Now here we will Kolbai this. Opponent goes Talents to draw 2, draws into Raigeki and Tract, activates the Raigeki, we chain the Cartesia, send Aluba and herself to go into Grand Gugno and protect our Grand Gugno with opening. Grand Gugno here will trigger, we send Albion so that we get that end phase follow up. Opponent sets both D barriers, and he will proceed to pass turn. End phase, Albion here will search for Brand of Fusion, and Cartesia will add itself to hand. So yeah, luckily for us, we do have Dragon's Mind to deal with D barrier. So D barrier is once per turn, right? Yeah, you can, oh my gosh, you can only activate one. Wow, I'll tell you why I'm so surprised about this. Okay, no some Cartesia, and we drew into Tragedy there, going to Grand Gugno. Grand Gugno 1, okay, opponent is going to chain the D barrier, and I decide to go Dragon's Mind. Okay, so cool, he can't chain this one yet, so we send Grand Gugno, not Grand Gugno, Garura here, we get a draw, but opponent is able, yeah, he's right, he can, right, this negates activation, right, yeah, so he can actually activate the other copy of, other copy of D barrier when we activate Brand Fusion, but he doesn't, so instead he just activates the Retaliating Sea. So my opponent, he did not realize he could activate this because D barrier says you can only activate 1 per turn. That's crazy. So yeah, opponent didn't realize that, so we Retaliating Sea, we banish Albaz and Mercuria, going to Lebellion here, discard Mercuria 2, search for Albion the Shrouded, and then here I decide to shuffle back in, not going to Mirror, but going to Chaos Star Source, clear up the field there. So yeah, it's kind of funny. He didn't activate the D barrier, so I guess he forgot how D barrier works. Anyways, Shrouded here. Okay, now we can send to Grave Banishment because we do have a Retribution. Do we have a Retribution? Oh no, we have Tragedy Engraved. That's why. Okay, we draw into Serenia, and that's all we needed because we just needed the extra body to deal to the C 7,500. We just needed a little bit more damage. So luckily for us, yeah, we had that draw to get us the game here, and our opponent does scoop here. Cool. So yeah, that was pretty crazy. My opponent didn't realize D barrier. He could have actually activated the second one. So yeah, that was kind of funny there. But yeah, luckily we drew into Serenia to go for game here, because if he just had Pyja in hand, I'm telling you, we were so cooked. We were so cooked right there. But yeah, guys, that was the duel. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.